Alright guys, this is JProv from Outpost Delta, and today I'm going to play a little bit of, well, maybe not really play, but I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information on Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So what I want to talk about today is the mod portion of this game, which is arguably one of the more complicated. I'm not going to say most complicated because upper level stuff does get a lot more complicated. But this can be a pretty difficult thing to get into, especially once you hit level 50. It's a brand new thing, and you really have only scratched the surface of it even once you've unlocked it. So right off the bat, there's pretty much four main parts of modding that you really need to get kind of under your belt. The first of those is the dot system, or the mark system. The second of those is mod sets. The third of those is mod primaries, and the final one is mod secondaries. And additionally, I guess sort of a fifth point would be every mod has a level, and increasing that level, say from 1 to 15, that can have a big effect on the power that mod is going to give your character in the long run. So I want to start off by talking about the dot system, or the mark system. So all mods go from Mark 1 to Mark 6. Most of you guys at the lower level are really only going to experience Marks 1, 2, and 3. As you get stronger and as you're able to complete more of these like mod challenges and that kind of stuff, and you start going into the mod store maybe and buying them, you're going to run into 4 dot mods, or Mark 4 mods, and Mark 5 mods, 5 dots. At the very top level of that is the Mark 6 mod, the 6 dot mod, which you can see right down here. This one is, well, not this exact mod, but this mod type is just about the strongest it can get. So with that said, what does that actually mean? That means that for a 5 dot mod, your primary stat is going to be a lot stronger than it would be on a 1 dot mod. So looking at this, well, let's see if yeah, that is the same one. So an untouched Mark 1 mod, at the very base, its primary stat is going to be plus 0.25% defense, at least for this diamond mod right here. Finding roughly a similar mod, which is this one right here, right off the bat, you're already getting plus 1.25%. So that just kind of tells you that from 1 dot to 5 dots, you're getting an extra whole % of defense, and that's without even touching the mod. So obviously, as you upgrade that from 1 to 15, as you slice it, which we'll get into at the end of this, that you're going to be getting a ton more power from a 5 dot mod than you would from a 1 dot mod. With that said, I mentioned, I talked about the set and that kind of stuff. So from each set, you will get a certain bonus. So like this mod has a crit damage, or this mod set up on Echo right here has a crit damage set, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then it has a set mod, or a health mod set, that is 1 and 2. Each set bonus is going to give you a certain thing based on the level of each of the mods in your set, as well as what type of set it is. So for my health one, I'm getting right here, I'm getting plus 10% health. If I had one of these, say at maybe level 10, even level 1 through 14, basically, anything that's not level 15, then I'm going to be getting this 5% bonus right here, instead of the level 15 bonus, which basically doubles it. And it doubles it for each one of these. In addition to that, what you need to understand about sets, which I did not understand when I came into this initially, way back whenever I hit level 50 and started using mods, was that certain mod sets require only 2 mods, but other sets require 4 mods. And that's a huge thing that can make a big difference for you guys, is knowing which ones are 4 mod sets and 2 mod sets. For example, when I first started with mods, I had a health set on there, and then half of a crit damage set, and then half of an offense set. What I didn't realize at the time was that by trying to put both of those sets in there, I was actually only getting 1 set in the long run. So essentially what that means is you guys have to make sure that you know how many are required for each set. And that is 2 per health, 2 for defense, 4 for crit damage, 2 for crit chance, 2 for tenacity, 4 for offense, 2 for potency, and 4 for speed. So that's that. The third main part of this is the primary stat. Primary stats are a huge difference. For example, I have plus 36% crit damage. From this, I get that 36% is here. Otherwise, it would be 180, which makes a massive difference. You would see if Echo critted, then his damage would be all the higher, because I have that extra 36% right there. And other ones, you have like health, that kind of thing. So one of the biggest things to consider, though, is you have to be really strategic about what primary stat each mod has on it. So like this one has health, this one has crit damage, that one has defense, protection, defense, and offense. One of the big things here is that certain mods can only have certain primary stats. So your square mod right here, that can only have an offense, which maxes out at 5.88%. Your diamond mod can only have the defense primary, which maxes out at 11.75%. Your circle mod can have either protection percent or health percent, which maxes out at 23.5% and 5.88% respectively. Your arrow mod, and this is one of the huge thing, arrow, triangle, and plus, or your cross mod, are the crucial ones here, because you have very little leeway in these 3 right here, but these 3 are where it really makes a difference. Your arrow mod can have offense percent, defense percent, health percent, protection percent, speed, accuracy, and crit avoidance. One of the best mod primaries you can get for this arrow is a speed primary. It adds plus 30 speed to your character, which the longer you go in this game, you're going to find out speed is the king of mod sets. You always want to go for speed if you can. Otherwise, other good sets are health, offense. Really, they all make a big difference for each individual character, essentially. Different characters have different things that they should be modded for. Like for a tank character, you're going to want either defense, tenacity, health, that kind of stuff. Moving on to the triangle mod, that can have offense, defense percent, health percent, protection percent, crit chance percent, and crit damage percent. Those last 2, crit chance and crit damage percent, are the ones that I would always recommend for this one, because all of the other ones you can get from this left side of mods right here, but crit chance and crit damage are exclusive to that mod. So whenever you can, you want to make sure that you can get one of those 2. I prefer crit damage, but crit chance is a close second, especially if you have a crit damage set on already. And moving on to the cross mod, the last mod, you can have offense percent, defense percent, health percent, protection percent, potency percent, and tenacity percent. Again, these last 2 are the ones that I would stress over all else, over all 4 of the other ones: the offense, the defense, the health, the protection. Because again, those are exclusive to the cross mod. You can't get those on this right side, but you can get the other 4. So that ultimately is up to you. If you want to max a character out on health as high as you can go, like General Grievous, all of his stuff is based, all of his damage is based in his max health. So it might be a good idea to put a health percent on every single primary if you can do it. Obviously you can't do that for the square and the diamond, but for every other mod, you can put a health percent on that, which would make a huge difference in the long run, because he's going to be getting basically roughly 24%, a little bit under that. It's going to be like 23.5% overall, which is a massive addition. And the last thing I want to cover with you guys is, well, the last thing I want to cover is secondary stats. So you can have a variety of different secondary stats on each mod. As far as I know, that's really not limited. You can have pretty much anything. You can have crit chance. You can have, I don't think you can have, I've never seen any crit damage, so I'm pretty sure you can't have that. But you can have crit chance, you can have potency, you can have tenacity, you can have health percent, you can have protection percent, you can have defense percent. Defense percent. You can have a defense number, an offense percent, and an offense number. And what else is there? You can have speed, and I believe that's it. I might not be right about that. There may be a couple that I forgot. Let me know down in the comments if I missed anything for the possible secondaries. But a crucial thing to make sure and keep an eye on here is you cannot have a primary stat type that is the same as your secondary stat type. So if you can see over here on this crit damage circle that I've got, I have a percent protection buff for my primary stat, and down here I have a raw number stat of protection. I cannot have a percent protection in my primary up here and a percent protection down here in my secondary, because that's just the way that it works. You can't have the same primary and the same secondary. But an easy way around that is having this raw number protection mixed with this extra percent protection, essentially. And so the final kind of upper level thing that you really would only be running into probably once you get into pretty high upper level and that kind of stuff is mod slicing. So you can slice a mod all the way from, you can slice a mod all the way from E all the way up to A, and basically your E looks like, if I can get there, your E looks like this white, kind of very, very light blue one. Your D looks like the green, and then you go up and you have the blue, which is like that, and then you have purple, which is like that, and then you have gold, which is like that. It goes E through A, E starting with the white, A being the gold. And then once you hit the very, very top of that, if you have a Mark 5 mod, you can slice that up to this Mark 6E, and then that is the strongest mod type that you can get. However, I will warn you guys, if you're going to be slicing mods, I would not slice a mod until you have 5 dot mods. 1 dot mods and 2 dot mods and 3 dot mods and 4 dot mods are not worth the slice, because you cannot slice from 1 dot up to 2 dot and 2 dot up to 3 dot, and etc. You can only slice from E to A on 1, E to A on 2, and so on until you get to 5. Then you can slice from E to A, and then from 5A up to 6E. So that's one of the things that I would caution you guys on, because mod slicing materials come very sparsely, especially when you're slicing from 5A to 6E. And that's a lot of time that you have to spend grinding, using that mod energy to get those mod slicing materials to buff your mods. I think that's about all I've got for you guys. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. I think I got everything just about. So yeah, thanks for watching and keep it real, guys. Appreciate it.